Hey guys, so in today's tutorial, we are going to be taking a look at how you can increase your export times almost up to 4 times the normal export time just by changing a few settings with the most recent Adobe Premiere Pro 2020 update. So the first thing we're going to get started is when you're creating your new sequence, there's a couple things that we need to do to ensure that you have some of these settings available to you. And one of those is ensuring that you have the renderer or playback setting set to either Mercury Playback Engine with CUDA if you have a Nvidia graphics card, or OpenCL if you have an AMD-based graphics card. So off the top, that is one of the requirements to getting this enhanced power, is that you will need to have either a later generation NVIDIA graphics card or AMD graphics card. I will have links down in the description of the ones that are fully supported for this, so you can check those out there for both NVIDIA and AMD. So you'll just want to make sure that this setting is set for your sequence right off the hop. So the next setting that we're going to want to ensure is checked again, even though we set this in the sequence, is if we head up to Edit, Preferences, and Media. Within here, we're going to want to make sure that the checkbox here is enabled. Enable hardware accelerated encoding and decoding. This may require a restart if it currently is unchecked, so you have to relaunch the program. And as you can see here, when I hover over this, when hardware and minimum OS requirements are met, hardware acceleration is used for H.264 or HEVC, or also known as H.265. So when it comes to exporting, this enhanced acceleration is only going to affect exports that are H.264 or H.265. Which, if you're uploading for YouTube or really any of the other social platforms, is the codec you should be using anyways. So once we ensure that that is checked, we're going to hit OK. And those are imported now. I'm just going to throw something on the timeline, and boom, and boom. Okay, so we got our very rough edit that we're just going to export. Not going to do anything to it, just so we can jump into the menu settings. So we are going to hit Control M on our keyboard or Command M on a Mac, and that will bring up our export settings here. I do have a video on the best export settings for YouTube. You'll definitely want to check that one out, where I go into detail a lot more of the settings in this export menu here. But the one that we're going to be concerned with today is under Encoding Settings. So this is sort of the final step of ensuring that we are using this enhanced performance when exporting. And we want to ensure that this is set to hardware encoding and not software encoding. Software encoding will use your CPU, which, if you have a powerful enough one, is fine. But with this latest update, you can have performance increases up to 4 times faster by exporting with this hardware encoding with a supported Nvidia GPU or AMD GPU. So we'll want to ensure that this is checked here. Now, one thing to note with this, if you're running into issues with this and you're getting some error messages, it may be because of your bitrate settings down here. This hardware encoding setting only works with CBR and VBR 1-pass. It does not work with VBR 2-pass. In fact, if we select this and come back up to the top, you'll see it automatically switched to software encoding. And if we try and switch it here, it's actually going to give us this pop-up warning. So if we would like to use the hardware accelerated encoding, we will need to be set on VBR 1-pass or CBR. Again, some of this stuff here is in the tutorial that I will have linked down in the description or up in the card in the top right, where I go over all of these settings. And that is pretty much it. Once you have hardware encoding set, you'll be able to export these videos almost 4 times faster than you normally would by using this new hardware encoding from Nvidia. The last thing that we're going to choose, which may have been the first thing you should have checked, is to ensure that you have the correct version of Adobe installed. So you'll want to open up your Creative Cloud. You'll want to go to Updates. You can click on this button here and check for updates, and just ensure that your application is completely up to date as of the time of this video or later. Any later versions will have this as well, or else you won't gain the benefit of this accelerated export. Hope you guys found this quick tutorial helpful. As always, like and subscribe down below for more content, and I'll see you in the next one.